Hello everyone, I hope we're doing well. My yesterday daily is on identifying that we're not called to meet all the needs in church. And this does not mean that we have to be selfish or we have to not use our gifts. It's just using our gifts wisely. And I'll give you an example of how that has happened to me. One of my gifts is that I help people. I like helping people, and I'm very eager to do that. You see me when you see me in action helping people. I'm in my niche, but the Holy Spirit has taught me that the niche is not all I am based on. The niche has to be guided and led. So I don't just jump up one day and say, hey, I want to help you. It has to be led. Even where I see someone struggling, if they haven't actually said, can you help me? Or the Holy Spirit hasn't said to me to go to them to say, I want the Holy Spirit hasn't said to me to talk to them about what I sense. It's best for me to pray for them and just stay on my lane. And this it might sound selfish. I thought it was selfish. I thought, I should be doing more. I should be out there helping people and doing those sort of things. But I read an article from by the Gospel Coalition, and it's titled "Not All Needs is a Call," and the focal point of the article is that it takes self-awareness and cultivated humility to let every member of the body of Christ to do its part. And this is in 1 Corinthians chapter 12 from verse 4 to 11. And it's basically saying to us that, yes, we all have gifts. Yes, some of us may have realized our gift and we're operating in it, and some of us wouldn't have. We should not then make it's our job or our responsibility to bring out the gifts in them. We're not the giver of the gifts. The fact that you found your gift and you're operating in it doesn't make you an expert. It makes you want to focus on what you've been called to do. So you might see needs in church, and it's okay to have them addressed, but it doesn't mean that it has to be addressed by yourself. And there was another point that was raised again, and it was the fact that what's the word? It was the fact that another point that was raised was that you didn't have to operate in every possible lane, otherwise you'll suffer a burnout. Take for example, if you have the gift of helping people, and you want to help every person that you see, this would mean that sometimes when you offer your help, they might refuse it. Sometimes when you offer your help, they might ignore you. Sometimes they might call you pork nose, and sometimes they might say, oh, you think you know too much and you are the helper of the brethren. There will be lots of reactions to what you want to do out of pure motive, out of your ministry. That is where we need to go back to God and let Him lead this ministry is given to us. So when He leads, you know that you're operating in your call at the time. And most of our callings, they operate in seasons. There'll be a season where you'll be able to use your gifts fluently, and there'll be a season where it will tell you to stop and observe and look before saying anything. So it's just picking those moments is very helpful, and it won't let us burn out. And I remember I listened to a podcast, the Proverbs 31 Ministries podcast yesterday on people pleasing, and the thing I got from what the woman said was that when we become a people pleaser, when we become the person everybody runs to for help, we're taking on the role of God. So something happens to someone, they don't pray about it. They don't ask God what to do, who to talk to. They run immediately to you. You've cheated them out of the chance to speak to God. You've cheated them out of the chance to be independent. You've cheated them out of the chance to cultivate how they can hear the shepherd's voice. You've cheated them out of the point of how to be led by God. But that does not mean that we shouldn't help them. And you'll find that when you're led to help, it's structured. You're not just wanting to help in a giri way. I don't know how to say giri in English. In a panicking way. There's some kind of help where you think, well, the person is like, oh, this person has come to me for help, so I must do everything I can to help them. And then you start gushing, and then you do things out of proportion. But when it is led by God, you find a sweet pace. You talk together, you both hold hands, you pray, you go back to God. This person hears this, she hears that, you hear that. You come together again and review what you've heard. And it's beautiful and sweet. But when we start wanting to be the helper, the only person that knows all the answers to the questions in the world, we suffer burnout, and we also become what we shouldn't be to other people. God is the umpire of everything, is the giver of the gifts, and it should be him we always go back to when a need needs to be met. God bless you.